This is the $99 Turkish Airlines Miles&Smiles Premier credit card. It's my latest credit card, and in this video, I'll be sharing the simple yet crucial truth behind whether or not this card honestly deserves a spot in your wallet. Starting us off, this card already exists in other parts of the world. It's just 100% absolutely brand spanking new to the US credit card market. I received a marketing email to go ahead and apply for the card, and after understanding what kind of value it could provide, I was definitely interested. We'll go over what this card has to offer, followed by my rationale of why I actually chose to go ahead and apply for it, and then I'll dig a little deeper in terms of a further analysis. The sign-up bonus offer for this card is 40,000 miles after $3,000 in minimum spend in the first 90 days. It's marketed as a way to get a free one-way flight from the US to Istanbul. Generally speaking, Turkish miles are worth around 1.1 cents per point, so 40k miles would be around, let's say, 440 bucks in value, but that's really specific to more your economy redemptions. When it comes to business and first class, it could be way more. Comparing the value of this bonus versus the $99 annual fee, it definitely pays for itself multifold. The earn rate is going to be 3x miles earned per dollar spent with Turkish Airlines, 2x miles per dollar spent on dining, groceries, entertainment, and lodging. On their site, they call it lodging, which we typically refer to it as hotels, and 1x everywhere else. From a benefit/features perspective, we're going to have no foreign transaction fees and literally nothing else. It is a Visa signature card, which has its own benefits, and this card has an annual fee, yet there's other cards with no annual fees that also have certain Visa signature benefits. Simply put, without getting any deeper, it's really not that crazy of a differentiator. My immediate impression of this card was that after the bonus, the earn rate, it's kind of subpar, where you can get this kind of earn rate or better with other cards that have that kind of similar level of annual fee. If we take a simple example and look at a card with a $95 annual fee, such as the City Strata Premier, this is what it looks like. We get 3x on air travel as well as hotel purchases, and 3x as well on restaurants, supermarkets, and gas stations, inclusive of EV charging stations. More than that, if you book through City's internal portal, known as City Travel, we're getting 10x points on the following categories: hotels, rental cars, and attractions, and 1x everywhere else. The $99 annual fee on the Turkish Airlines card, there's not really any credits or other way to really recoup that $99 year over year. This point is pretty significant because with the City Strata Premier, you get $100 back after a single reservation with the hotel when you spend $500 or more on City's travel portal. In this fashion, you at least have a way to recoup that $95 annual fee with the City Strata Premier, unlike the Turkish Airlines card. More than that, the City Strata Premier's intro offer is 75,000 thank you points. The minimum spend is a little higher at 4K versus 3K, yet at the same time, if you look at the list of transfer partners that City has, Turkish Airlines is one of them. More than that, you can transfer your thank you points to other partners, but with the Turkish Airlines card, you're basically restricted to just their ecosystem. Outside of City, there's also other issuers like Capital One, or if you have the Built Mastercard by Wells Fargo, where these flexible currencies you earn, you can transfer them to Turkish Airlines as well. There are definitely a lot of sweet spots when it comes to redemptions with Turkish Airlines. At the same time, why I actually got this card really comes down to a strategic decision. Turkish Airlines is a part of the Star Alliance program, where you have other partners such as Air Canada, United, Air India, and others. To me, 40,000 points, it's not too shabby. It's pretty nice. At the same time, it's not really phenomenal. And when you actually try to redeem, especially if you're going for business or first class flights, depending on where you're trying to go to, those 40k miles may not really cut it. So if you don't have any other type of cards where you can transfer your points to Turkish Airlines' program, you're basically getting whatever airline miles you can get for Turkish Airlines from the bonus, as well as what you're spending on the card. For me, 40,000 miles, it's a nice extra chunk of miles that I never had prior. At the same time, is it going to get me the redemption that I want? Maybe, maybe not. The way I look at it is that hitting this bonus allows me to have 40,000 Turkish miles that I didn't have before. Let's say I have a redemption for 80,000 miles one fine day. I have the optionality to top up this balance from these other card partners where I can transfer their points to their program. Simultaneously of where I am on my credit card journey, there's not really a lot of cards that offer that amazing sign-up bonus or some type of offer that's really worth considering. Yes, there's many cards by Chase that I haven't gotten, but I'm way over 524, and I'm not really wanting to just wait until I'm under it to apply for that next Chase card. And I'm not too keen on getting a bunch of store cards where maybe you get 10% off your first transaction, or for example, hey, do X and get $25 as a sign-up bonus offer. If we don't include those type of situations, this Turkish Airline cards for where I am in my journey honestly, it makes a lot more sense than not. I also like trying new things, where this card was issued through Imprint, with the bank being First Electronic Bank, and both of those I've never heard of it before this card. And they basically specialize in co-brand credit cards such as HEB, Brooks Brothers, and others. Right now, there's only this annual fee version of this card, and it has Premier at the end of its name. And the reason I'm calling this out is similar to the Chase Sapphire line of cards. There's a Chase Sapphire Reserve, the preferred, and there's also the Chase Sapphire. Basically, there's no suffix, and they've discontinued this card, but it is a card that folks can downgrade from the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I mention this because maybe in the future there's a no annual fee version of this card, similar to how there's a no annual fee version of the JetBlue card, but there also is a version with an annual fee. And in the same vein, how there's multiple tiers of different United cards in Southwest, maybe there's a play in the future, but that's just my thoughts right now. Also, this little tidbit is pretty much for the first 5,000 applicants. They basically said, hey, you'll get issued a metal card, where I assume they have a plastic variation for folks that are after that 5K threshold. As we all probably know, metal cards are nothing new, but it's more of like a keepsake to keep for the longer term of me knowing like, hey, when this card came to the US market, we had it, we're one of the first folks, and it'll be kind of like memorabilia slash a souvenir. Also, when it comes to the application process, you can basically see if you're pre-approved first before accepting whatever offer they have. And they basically will tell you, hey, this is your APR that you'll be approved for, this is your credit limit, do you want to accept these terms? When it comes to credit cards, points, and miles, paying your bill in full and on time is the name of the game, or else none of these miles and rewards make any sense. Point being, when I saw the APR range for this card, it goes all the way up to like 33 and change percent, which is pretty crazy. And the reason I mention this, it feels almost as if it's like predatory lending, or as if they're targeting subprime kind of folks. And long short is that you can basically see what you're pre-approved for and then accept that offer. So it's totally up to you. Yet in the end of the day, if you're someone who's carrying a balance or something like this, not just this card, but credit cards in general probably aren't really the next best step. For me, hitting the 3K in spend wasn't really that hard. And really, it was kind of similar to an interesting scenario, which I was watching Luke's Points and Miles, where he got the same card and he basically bought through an IHG points offer, where when you buy 250,000 points, you get another 250,000 points, and the cost would be basically 2,500 bucks. So that valuation is 0 0.5 cents per point, which is pretty much in the same range as what it would be if you're redeeming your IHG points for an IHG hotel. The reason I mention this is it's really interesting, where I basically have a mortgage for the home I own, but I was also paying rent outside of that. And so just making one simple rent payment, even though there's, let's say, a 3% surcharge, what have you, for me, I was like, all right, the bonus outweighs whatever the cost that would be. And so it's really easy for me to hit. And the use case was pretty much there for me to just get the bonus ASAP. Honestly speaking, this card has a $99 annual fee. And the earn rate pretty much, when I mean sucks, it means there's other cards, even with the no annual fee, which can give you really similar results. To check out what I'm talking about, I'll leave a video over here. I'll see you there.